Do Hindus believe in reincarnation? Well, of course they do. Everyone knows that. It's the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna states, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumarang yovanang jara tata dehantara praptihi. We start off with a child body, becomes a little bit older body, then an old body, and then dead body, but the soul within the body goes to another body. That's Krishna's first instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Shortly after that he says, Vasangsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sangyati navani dehi. He gives the example that just as someone's old clothes, the covering, when it gets old and worn out, is replaced, so in the same way, the body, which is like a covering for the soul, when it's old and worn out, it's replaced. In other words, we get another body. And it's not just Hindus, but Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs, all these religions which have their geographical origin in India, they all believe in reincarnation. It's an accepted fact. It's practically the basis of these four religions, their belief system, if you want to call it that. But sometimes actually a lot of the time, I have my doubts. Do Hindus really believe in reincarnation? Because if you believe in reincarnation, in tandem with that is karma. We get different bodies. Well, how does that go on? We get a fat body or a thin body or a human body or a non-human body or a body in a rich family or in a poor family. We get a strong, healthy body or a beautiful body or a body that's from the beginning, there's so many diseases. We go through life with more troubles or less troubles than others. It's all due, whatever we get coming to us is due to activities that we previously performed. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, is famous law of thermodynamics. It's not exactly the same in the matter of karma, because the reaction, it's very complex actually, and Lord Krishna addresses this in Bhagavad Gita. The reaction for one activity, we may get a reaction that goes over many, many, many lifetimes. For instance, for those who kill a cow, they have to suffer in hell for as many thousands of years as there are hairs on the body of a cow. So there's an example of one small action giving a big reaction. Or if one gives in charity to brahmanas at Prayag at the time of Kumbh Mela, then just that one activity, he gets thousands and thousands of years in the heavenly planets. Another thing, there are so many things to be discussed about karma. Sometimes people wonder, well, how is it that bad people, they go on, they seem to be enjoying their life, they don't seem to get reactions. How is that? They should get bad reactions. But we should understand that we have so many reactions queued up that what I am presently enjoying or suffering due to previous karmas, that can be going back from many, many lifetimes previously. Just like you get one action gives a prolonged reaction. So if we do something bad, that gets put in the buffer. And it may be some more lifetimes later that we get severe reaction. It's very, very complex, because at every moment we do things, we say things, even inadvertently, if we step on ants and we kill them, there's some reaction for that. So it's all very complex. Anyway, the point is that karma is very mixed up. It's inextricable from the understanding of reincarnation. I'm talking about belief in reincarnation. From my own perspective, I don't take it as a belief. I just take it as a fact. And presumably most Hindus and Buddhists and Sikhs and Jains, they also accept it as a fact, although they don't think about it very much. And that's the problem. They don't think about it very much, because if we did think about it, we would not act in such a way that we're going to make a mess for ourselves in future. Nowadays I see so many, well, it's nothing new, performing sinful activities. There used to be a consciousness within India, a widely spread consciousness, a fear of committing sin. But that seems to be less and less and less. And it used to be understood widely that eating meat, slaughtering animals is not good, it's sinful. Drinking alcohol is sinful. You get severe karmic reactions. You're going to get another birth. You're going to get reactions. Sex life, illicit sex, the sex life that which is not within marriage, that is sinful. You're going to get a reaction. But people, they don't care. They go on, they do it. So I wonder if they really believe, or they really think about what they're doing. It may be a belief, not a very well thought out or considered belief. Or maybe people, they kind of believe it, but they don't take it very seriously, or they're just hoping that it's not going to happen. What do people think? Why do they worship Sai Baba? If you actually believe in karma and reincarnation and the Vedic literatures, then why should you worship Sai Baba? Which is completely nonsense. You should worship those who are mentioned in the Vedic literature. Not otherwise, so many bogus incarnations people are inventing. Worshipping these bogus incarnations means that's also, we may think it's very pious to do Sai bhajans, but it's actually sinful, because it's an insult to who is the actually worshipable person. The worshipable persons, the authorized worshipable persons within the Vedic corpus, the various Shiva, Brahma, Parvati, Indra, Ganesh, but the supremely worshipable, the one who is worshipped by those who are worshipped, Deva Deva, is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But people don't think. That's what I'm saying. Do they really believe in karma and reincarnation? And if we did think about it, then we would consider birth after birth after birth. I have to suffer life after life after life. What's going on? I better get out of this. Is there a way to get out of this? That is the beginning of real knowledge. Dukkha doshanu darshanam. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. In discussing the facets of knowledge within Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that one should see and understand from authorities, spiritual authorities, that birth, death, old age, and disease, this is miserable. But it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, again and again and again and again and again. So if we really believe in reincarnation, and not just as some kind of thing which is, just sitting there in the back of our heads, then we should be very concerned. If I was to propose to someone, we're going to take you now to the middle of a war zone. We're going to send you to East Ukraine, the middle of a war zone. And people will be very concerned. Well, that's very dangerous, isn't it? But we're in a very dangerous position. There is a facade of peacefulness. That is our enemy. That we think, well, life's going on okay, and yeah, go day to day, and there are little hassles here and there. But actually, we're in a very, very dangerous position. It means our next death is coming soon. Then we have to get born again. We don't know how we're going to get born, where we're going to be born, but we know we're going to be born again. And we're going to have to suffer again and again and again. Life after life after life. So Hindus, non-Hindus, it's not a matter of, it's not that if you're a Hindu you get reincarnated because you believe in it, and if you're a non-Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or whatever, if you don't believe in it, it doesn't happen to you. It's not like that. It's a fact of life in this material world. It has to be. Either there is reincarnation or there isn't reincarnation. There can't be something in between. It's not that I'm a Hindu and I believe in reincarnation, then I convert to a Christian and all of a sudden reincarnation doesn't exist anymore. It's one of those things that whether you believe in it or not, it exists. It doesn't depend on our belief. So even the idea of believing in reincarnation is somewhat superficial, in as much as it's something we should understand. It's such an overwhelming possibility. It is like Pascal's wager. Believe in God or don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God and there is God, you're in a lot of trouble. So in the same way, we should be very serious to understand. Is there reincarnation or isn't there reincarnation? How can we know? How can we understand? It's such an important fact for us to understand or not understand, to understand whether it is factual or not. Like I say, in my case, I'm absolutely convinced that it is a fact for everyone, whether you believe in it or not believe in it. But at least for those who are Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, Jains, who believe in it, they're supposed to believe in it as an essential part of their religion, which distinguishes it from Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That's the major difference between the Abrahamic religions and what can be called the Dharma-based religions, is an understanding or a belief in reincarnation or not. So at least those who, by their cultural background, believe in reincarnation, they should take it seriously. It's not just part of Garv se kaho hum Hindu hai, just say with pride I am a Hindu, but we should understand what it means. If we are born in that situation, it is a great advantage because we're already well ahead in terms of spiritual knowledge. We're already well ahead of those who, due to their cultural and religious background, they're predisposed not to believe in this vital existential fact that we are born again and again and we die again and again. So it's a great head start for those who are born in a Hindu situation to believe in reincarnation, but take it seriously. Don't just think, well, I'm a Hindu and I believe in reincarnation. Take it very seriously, because it is going to happen that we're going to die soon. And what we do in this life determines not only the next life, but so many lives in future. And if we are actually intelligent, we should understand that getting born again and again, dying again and again, it's not good. We should do whatever we need to do to get out of this mess, which is called the cycle of repeated birth and death. As Lord Krishna teaches Uddhava, we find his teaching in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Labdva sudurlabha midang bahusambhavante manusham artadam anityam apihadhira turnam yatetana patedanu mrityayava nishrayasaya vishayakalu sarvata syat. Lord Krishna says that a human birth is very rarely achieved, very rarely attained. And if we consider there are living entities in every cell, in every insect, in every blade of grass, then how rare is the human birth? But now we have the human birth. We won't have this body very long, but we should utilize the time we have in this body, considering that the human birth is very valuable, and inasmuch as only in human birth can we make a solution to the problem of repeated birth and death. And if we think, well, let me just enjoy myself, then Lord Krishna says we should know that this sensual enjoyment, which we falsely take to be happiness, that we have already enjoyed. It's there in every species of life. So be serious about how we use this human life. That's all one verse that's spoken by Krishna. So yeah, we should be very serious, very, very serious about this. Reincarnation is a fact. Hindus are supposed to believe it. If we really believe it, we should utilize the Vedic literature which teaches us about this, especially in the present time. We can take advantage of the Vedic literature presented perfectly for the present age by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Especially, we can see his rendition of Bhagavad Gita as it is, which explains all these things. Ukramantang stitang vapi punjanam va gunan vitam. What is that? Vimudha nanu pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Right there in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that how we are getting body after body after body, and how we are supposedly enjoying and suffering according to the modes, the way we've acted. Foolish people cannot see this, but people who can see with the eye of spiritual knowledge, they can understand all these points. So read Bhagavad Gita as it is, presented by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Understand all these things. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Understand that simply to be a Hindu is not enough. We should come to the actual point of all the Vedic knowledge, which is summarized very succinctly by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Vedaischa sarvaraham eva vedyaha. All the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. And therefore we should worship Krishna, who says at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mang namaskaru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijjane priyosime. He says to Arjuna, you just think of me, worship me, be my devotee, bow down to me. In this way you will surely come to me. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So there we have the solution. How to get free from birth and death? Worship Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. It's a very simple process. We should take advantage of it. It's not enough just to say I'm a Hindu. It's not even enough to say I believe in reincarnation. We have to understand this, and we have to act on the knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, which means we have to worship Krishna, make Krishna the goal of our life, understanding that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are His eternal servants. And then all problems solved. All problems are simply due to forgetting that we are eternal servants, spiritual servants of Krishna. Therefore we suffer birth after birth after birth. Let us surrender to Krishna, making Him the goal of our lives, understanding that He is the Supreme, we are His eternal servants, and all our problems are solved. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dante nitaya chunakang padayoni padya kritvacha kakushatame tadaham bravimi. Hey sadhava sakala eva vihaya durat goranga chandra charane kurutanuragaha. Parivadatu jano yata tata va nanumukaro navayang vicharayamaha. Hari rasa madhirama dati mata bhuvi vilutama nartama nirvishama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Krishna.